Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp coming at you once more with a brand new brew review, and today I'll be having another Abbey beer for which Belgium is so well known. Last year on Boxing Day I had the Cambron Xmas brewed in Brasserie de Cambron in Animal Park Paradise under the supervision of brewery Dubuisson. Now today I'm having the original Cambron beer, the Cambron Blonde. As I said in the Xmas video, which I'll link up there I think, the beer is brewed in a lovely vintage looking brew pub on the old Cambron Abbey site, which is also where it got its name, Cambron Abbey, Cambron Beer. Because of its link to the Abbey and the distinct location, the former grounds of the Abbey, in 1999 Cambron was officially recognized as an Abbey beer. The modern Cambron Blonde was first brewed in 1974 as a commission beer based on the back then very popular Super 64 or Super 64, which was an amber beer with an ABV of 5.4%. Now, the Cambron didn't become an Abbey beer. The Cambron Blonde became, you guessed it, a blonde version of that Super 64 with an ABV of 5.5%. But since it was adopted by Dubuisson in 2013, the recipe got slightly altered. Although I've been told not that much. So, the original Cambron, however, was brewed in the 12th century. The label here says 1148, by Cistercienser monks, just like the Trappist beers of today, with the water of the Saint Bernardus source, which was said to have healing powers. One of the myths says that the beer was so delicious that the monks couldn't contain themselves, and the abbot forbade the monks of indulging too much. The beer was back then served in crystal chalices with a foot shaped like a beautiful angel, and when the abbot forbade them, the monks replied that they had no choice than to drink so much. They simply had to empty their glass till the last drop every time in order to be able to behold the angel in all its beauty. Every excuse is as good as any. In response, the abbot replaced all the chalices with new ones depicting Satan on the bottom to keep the monks from drinking too much, but again they had an excuse. This time they replied that they simply had to empty their chalice till the last drop because they couldn't allow the devil himself to have even the slightest, tiniest drop of this delicious beer. Yeah, leave it to the monks to get creative with semantics. Well, the myth is promising, and now let's see if the beer delivers. Now, since 2013 until now, it has changed a slight bit because these days it is a 6% blonde, even though their website still says 5.5%. The bottle says 6, and under Belgian law, I am inclined to believe the bottle. Now, the bottle doesn't say that much, except that we have water, malted barley, sugar, hops, yeast, and spices. And you do know that I love some spices in my beers, especially in my blondes and triples. We do have the classic Cambron chalice, funny enough, not with a foot shaped like an angel, but with the face of an angel on the bottom. So I guess I will have to empty my glass too in honor of this beautiful angel. Let's take off its muzzle. Party in the city. A nice cloud forms above. Oh, lovely, lovely. Actually, quite vinous smell, which is funny. I do love that they, well, it's not a branded cork. Well, it is a branded cork, but it's not branded Cambron. It is branded with a lovely hop plant. So they do make these corks exclusively for beer bottles and not just for champagne or sparkling wine bottles. I do see a lot of bubbles, and that is entirely my fault because I just realized that I rinsed my glass and I didn't degrease it. It was in the attic for a while. But nonetheless, a nice, very clear, amberish, golden, coppery beer. Lovely vortex of bubbles here because of the engraved angel. Remember from the Duvel glass with the engraved D that captures the carbon dioxide and slowly bubbles it upwards. Well, it did have a small head of foam, but it dissipated quite quickly because of the glass. Oh, that's nice. It smells rather sweet, a slight bit malty, but mainly sweet and herbal. But especially a bit fruity, a bit floral. And a tiny bit vinous. Now, not vinous as in sour, but just fruity and sweet, like a sweet white wine, like a Liebfraumilch or a yeah, like a dessert wine. Lovely smell. Extra credit for the smell there. Now, let's have a taste. At first glance, rather basic. Quite nice, very pleasant. Medium density mouthfeel. Rather sweet, so a bit of rest sugar left there. Decent amount of carbon dioxide. And what I immediately notice is that it's very drinkable. This is what we would call een deurdrinker, a very drinkable beer that you can have all night long, like a Pilsner, by the way, like a lager. Again, rather sweet. That floral component is still in there. And I do not know what spices they used, but I do get a hint of hibiscus in there, maybe. Yeah. And hibiscus would also explain that floral component. I love hibiscus tea as well, by the way. And the aftertaste is quite peculiar because this is yeah, a pretty good blonde abbey beer. It's actually not as heavy as many other blonde abbey beers, and I do mean in ABV as well as in taste. But the aftertaste actually comes in as a standard lager beer or a standard Pilsner. So I do think that this is a high fermented beer. And I just noticed that I didn't cap it off here. I do believe that this is a beer of high fermentation. So to get that taste of a lager is quite peculiar. And I really like it. Now, of course, the brewers of Brewery Dubuisson are great brewers. So I'm not surprised that they made a great beer. But I am surprised at yeah, the flavor palette and the complex nose in this beer. So, well done. Okay. Also a slight bit yeasty, which I actually do like. mainly because the mouthfeel is just medium. It's like not watery, but also not heavy, not that full. There's a tiny, slight bitterness in there, so it's a very well balanced beer. And I do think that I am going to rate this, yeah, let's say it 3.5, because it is a beautiful beer, not necessarily my cup of tea, but it is a beautiful beer, so let's call it a 3.5. Like I said, extra credit on the nose there. Yeah, if you guys get the chance to visit Paradise, go visit Brasserie Cambron. It's a beautiful brew pub, quite large, with the copper vessels and the copper kettles. Absolutely love it. And yeah, if you guys like this video, let me know, hit a thumbs up, leave a comment down below to share your own experiences or any questions. And as usual, if you want to see more, hit subscribe and the bell icon. You'll be the first to know whenever I upload something, which should be Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 6, and some in-betweens from time to time. Anywho, cheers you guys, and I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be another foreign beer, maybe Dutch, maybe Spanish, I don't know yet. But see you on Wednesday. Cheers.